I'm Estelle Lloyd, co-founder and CEO of Macademia. Macademia is a global leader in educational entertainment. We have several brands. Our flagship brand is DaVinci, and DaVinci Kids exists as a channel, pay TV channel, a streaming channel, connected TV app, and also a digital app. The audience targeted are kids 7+ and families together across the entire footprint where we operate, which is about 150 countries and 22 languages. We reach an audience of about 60 million kids and family. The special sauce of DaVinci has always been the same for the last 17 years, which is as long as the channel has existed. And as I said, it's educational entertainment. We actually curate content around 4 pillars, which are STEM, so they're all science, technology, engineering, maths, which represent about 50% of our library. And then the 3 others are social emotional learning, which is a category that is increasingly appealing and in high demand from parents across all of our territories, and where we're looking to increase our library, definitely. Then critical thinking, which we deliver mostly through our interactive products in games. And then the last one is creativity. We have a lot of content, which is about making and doing things, creating tech or arts and crafts makes. So we've always been known for premium quality channel on science. That's really where the DNA of the DaVinci channel exists. And we see that just not with kids, but also with parents in evening blocks. We have a lot of longer format documentaries, which are all very obviously factual, and a lot of them around science topics. But if I look specifically on the kids front, the big shows on our platforms, everything put together, the channels and the apps, are shows like Operation Ouch, which is one of our most popular shows, Odd Squad, Science Max, Matilda and the Ramsey Bunch, Do You Know, That's Cool. Those are the shows that always are at the top of the list in terms of performance. We've always thought about the social emotional learning category very carefully. And the reason why we started thinking about it very carefully was actually identifying topics that we didn't find were covered anywhere. To give you an example, we do produce content ourselves. It represents about 10%, perhaps more, 20% now of our library. And when we tend to commission something or produce something ourselves is when we can't find it anywhere. When we started the company back in 2015, one of the topics that we thought wasn't covered properly was digital literacy. So that's, how do you keep safe online? What's fake news? What's a strong password? And so we put together a lovely series called Search It Up, which covers those topics specifically. And we've been on this journey ever since. We are always looking for topics that we don't think are very well covered. To give you another completely different example, we love a series that we've acquired called When I Grow Up, which is about, what does it mean to be a vet, or what does it mean to be a surgeon? What actually, we all know what it means, because even kids have heard and socially come into contact with someone that might have that profession. But actually, what does it mean day to day? And what do you have to do to be a vet? What do you have to do to be a surgeon? And we find that type of content very valuable. We really want to have more of it. We also find that parents are really attentive to this type of content. And the reason is that a lot of parents, well, first of all, we all know how much pressure parents are put under, and COVID hasn't helped, particularly with homeschooling. But as a parent, if you think about it, parents are being told your kids need to have very specific skills to be successful in the 21st century. They could be coding, could be robotic engineering. Even today, a lot of surveys are being commissioned around what it takes to be a great leader, and what it takes to be a great leader and happier in your job is to have empathy. But how do you learn this? And a lot of parents are saying to us when we do qualitative surveys or when we speak to our parents panels, well, I don't really know what coding is about. So how do we expect parents to inspire their kids to learn about something that they don't know themselves? So actually, we see a lot of co-viewing and a lot of, I suppose, learning on, with parents as well from our channels, which is lovely to see. And as I say, the social emotional learning category was there even before COVID, but the last 2 years have really made like the spotlight shine on that category and why it's so important. I think the best thing is to write to us. We do attend all the big events. We're going to be at CMC, at Kidscreen, and all the other ones. And there's always someone from our team attending those events. And Luca Fiore, who's our head of content, is the best person to speak to. And yeah, is always very happy and always excited to hear about new ideas and formats. Again, I would say what we're seeing in the space right now, we're seeing a lot of super premium quality, really interesting formats and really interesting ideas on science and technology. I still think there is a lot to do in the space. What we are particularly looking for are, as I said, anything on that touches on social emotional learning in a really wholesome, empathetic way. One example that I would like to give is sustainability and looking after the environment. There is a lot of content out there, but it feels to us like it wasn't really created with kids in mind to begin with. And so therefore, there's a little bit too much fear mongering, a little bit too much of a doomsday view of the world, which is quite anxiety inducing with kids. And parents whilst they do want and understand that this is a very important topic and they would want their kids to really be very aware and taking part in trying to find a solution, coming out of 2 years of COVID, which with all the anxiety that associated with it, they are looking, and therefore we're looking for ways to cover these topics in a way that is potentially more focusing on what part can I do, even in a small way, as opposed to this is what's going to happen, and feels a little bit like no matter what you do, it will happen anyway.